Hello and welcome back everyone, this is Allura SC back at you with another Fortnite tutorial video. In today's video we will be covering the Devil North amplifier build, and for those of you who have been leaving me comments and feedback in the descriptions in the comment section, I really do appreciate. I've taken on board all of these suggestions and hopefully this will improve the quality of the videos. So we're going to go ahead and start off really quickly with a bird's eye view of how this build looks like. As you can see over there, we have the block offs, we have the lobber shield, and we also have some block offs on the side over there. Okay, so let's go ahead and head right down onto the amplifier, get right into this video and show you guys how the funnels are going to be working. For those of you who have been patiently waiting for all of these videos, I thank you for your patience, and yeah, hopefully these videos will help you guys out. Alright, so first things first, we have the amplifier built right here. This is the amplifier. We got a couple of floor launchers around the sides, a couple of upturned pieces, tier 3 metal all around, nothing too overly special. Okay, so before anything else, I think we're going to go ahead and do it like how we did in the previous video. We're going to go straight to where the spawn is. Gonna go straight to where the spawn is. As you can see right there, that's where the lava rock is falling for us. So as we know, there are spawns coming in on the Devil North side, and these spawns tend to be around this area here. Yeah, they spawn around this side over here, as well as this side over there, this entire wide area here. So some of you guys might be wondering, you know, oh my word, this amplifier is so terrible to build. I agree. It has been taking us many different kinds of ways, many different iterations and improvements to try and do as best as we can this amplifier, and I think we are finally ready to mention this. So first things first, as the spawn spawns in right there, you'll notice that we have a bunch of spawn traps right here. We have a whole lot of ceiling gas traps rigged up over the spawn. This particular spawn, as we know, is a very difficult spawn, so as far as possible, if you can get some additional damage wherever we can, it is always welcome. So we've gone ahead and rigged up 2 rows, as you can see, 2 rows of ceiling gas trap. Starting from this spot right here, we have this little tile here that is going to be utilized for the support to hold the structure up. Same thing on this side over here for any possible mishaps. You just want to make sure that there is always a fail-safe. Yeah, there's always a fail-safe mechanism. So as we count right here, we have 2 rows, okay? So 2 rows over here of ceiling gas trap. Goes all the way down. This one extends a little bit towards the back, as you can see. If you take a look over here, this is where the little ramp is. We've gone ahead and added 1 additional dart trap. Now, some of you guys, I think in the previous video, have also mentioned about the dart traps, and I said something about them shooting down 6 tiles. Yes, they do in fact shoot down for 6 tiles. However, the trigger range is only 3 tiles, meaning whenever you want the trap to trigger, you need to make sure that there's at least something within its range within 3 tiles. If there's a husk that enters the 3 tile radius, it is then going to fire off, and the darts that fly out is then going to fly for 6 tiles, which gives you the big value. Okay, so with that out of the way as well, spawn traps, I think there's nothing much else that I want to cover over here. Just take note of the bearings and the points of reference. Ramp here, dart trap here, gas trap up here, blank spot over there. Okay, gas trap over here, blank trap over here, and we have the supporting piece right there. 1 step to the right, we have the gas trap, and then gas traps all the way down up until this point right here. 1 step to the right, gas trap, and then over here supporting piece. Everything else is just gassed up. Alright, so some of the things that we want to cover as well is this very fiddly, extremely fiddly lava rock. You guys might notice that the one that we have falling is going to cover this area right here. Right, this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot, and this spot. A little 3 by 2 area. This lava rock will actually be falling down. So once again, when we're talking about this video and showing all the tiles, please do make sure that all of these tiles are placed tile for tile. I would recommend building from the inside out. Build your way from the inside out and then work your way outwards, building piece by piece, and then after the rock has been isolated, then placing traps once again. Cannot stress this enough, I don't want you guys to waste your traps. Okay. So once again, the spawn is right about here. So point of reference, once again, we do have the stairs right here. Now, with the stairs over here, I'm just going to go ahead and point out first and foremost, I have chosen, or we have chosen to basically block off this area right here. We have chosen to block off this area entirely. As you can see, it is fully sandwiched, right? Fully sandwiched walls. Oops, sorry. Fully sandwiched walls right here. Right, double layers, every single one, double, triple layered everything. Okay, this is extending for 2 rows down. 2 rows down, everything is just layered with tier 3 metal. I think mostly metal, some of them are stone over here, doesn't really matter, they don't really punch through with all of this resistance. So sandwich walls, 2 rows, okay, 1, 2. So you just go ahead and count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have exactly 5 sandwich walls, 2 rows, going all the way down, sealing off this entire area here. Now, I do know that some of our teammates have also tested having the husk come up here as well. Still under testing, some of them like it, some of them don't, but I always like to think, you know, that we have this saying that consistency is power, and as far as possible, I want to make sure that all of the husks, as much as possible, are coming through on one side over here, and we can consistently deal with them, and we're not facing any kind of scuffness. Alright, so as mentioned, 2 rows of full sandwich walls over there. This area here, you don't really want to build anything at all. You don't want anything on this tile either, because if you start placing stuff on this tile over here, the lava rock is going to shift and you're going to be having a very bad day. The lava rock shift, I think, that can really scuff your day is if it shifts one more tile in here and breaks all of these tiles here. That would be absolutely terrible. You lose a 2x1 setup right there. Okay, so let's get right into the pathing of the husks now. So all of these husks over here, as they spawn in, they are all going to be walking through this path right here. They're all going to be walking through this path right here. We've gone ahead and started with a 2x1 setup. A 2x1 setup with a wall launcher, sealing gas trap, broadside to begin, slowing floor spikes, as well as wall launcher. Once again, for those of you who have forgotten or are new to this video, just going to go ahead and quickly highlight the traps. Gas traps, damage, reload, crit rating, crit damage. Broadside, damage, crit rating, reload. Wall launcher, impact, reload, impact, reload, impact. So triple impact, double reload. Slowing floor spikes, damage, crit rating, crit damage, as well as increased building health. Okay, so that's basically it for the trap perks. So let's go right into the pathing once again. So wooden floor spikes, second tile over here, once again sealing gas trap, 2x1 timeout room. Opted for wooden floor spikes, 2 tiles over here, wall launcher off into this side room over here. This is a timeout room, sealing gas trap, broadside, wall darts, as well as retractable floor spike. I favor retractable floor spikes because the reload time of retractable floor spikes is 4.2 seconds. 4.2 seconds. If you notice, for the wall launcher, it has a 4.3 second reload time. This pretty much means that whenever a wall launcher goes off, this is going to cool down and be ready at the same time as well. So they work really well with each other. Same thing with the wall darts. They also have a very similar 4.2 reload time. So we are having very consistent damage always coming out. The broadsides do have a bit longer cooldown, so they'll only be firing off once every 2 of these wall pushes when it does fire. Alright, so next tile, this is the third tile from the spawn right here. We have tar pit. Okay, we have a tar pit, we have a wall launcher, sealing gas trap, timeout room right here. Same setup. Broadside, gas trap, broadside, retractable floor spikes, as well as wall dots. So the importance once again of this tar trap right here, if we go ahead and start counting, you guys might realize this already. We have wall launcher number 1, wall launcher number 2, wall launcher number 3. This is usually the point where the smashers will get flung, because upon hitting this tile over here, this is the third wall launcher that goes off. They're going to send them into this corner over here. Alright, and this is also applying mostly for the propanes. I think this mostly does take care of propanes as well as any kind of what do you call that, other kinds of chunkier husks. Okay, so once they're gonna hit and come out over got hit by this over here, they're gonna walk onto this tile once again and they're gonna get stuck. Right, so double value on this tar pit. They get stuck once over here and then they get stuck twice over here as well. So this allows this wall launcher to possibly go off one more time. Alright, so one more time over here. This is what I would like to call a very crucial spot. Okay, this floor launcher over here is our 3 times impact. This is our 3 times impact floor launcher. Okay, so with how quickly it reloads, it has a 4.3 reload time. What it basically does is that it serves the purpose of, yes, you guessed it, it is going to be a vertical timeout room over here, a vertical timeout room. This tile over here and this tile over here, both of them serve the exact same purpose. As you can see, if we are looking upwards right here, we have walls on that side and we have slanted pieces over there, and these are sloped up just enough to allow these tiles over here to let the husks fly onto this platform or this elevated timeout room right here. They're all going to land around this area right about here. As we can see, we have also gone ahead and put wall-offs right here. For point of reference, this is where our initial start of funnel is. I've gone ahead and sealed this part off, yeah, with tier 3 metal to catch all the husks to make sure they don't fly too far. Right. So once again, you might see over here, Allura, why do you have this rather strange looking setup? Now, once again, for the way that these funnels have been built, most of the time, by the time we get to this spot over here, the only things that should be surviving are smashers, and possibly towards the later waves, if you get this on wave 24 or wave 29, you might see some of the elemental huskies possibly making to this point over here. But fret not, guys, because what do we have over here to catch these husks? We have over here a 3 times floor launcher, 3 times floor launcher, 3 times wall launcher, 3 times wall launcher. And the reasoning for this, if you guys might realize, is that if a smasher gets flung and they get tossed right about here or here, what happens is that they will be in the staggering animation and their impact guard would have been reset. Their impact guard would have been reset. This bunch of wall and floor launchers over here have the exact same cooldown timing as these floor launchers right here as well, which means that whenever these go off, this will be ready. They will always be ready when these go off. Consistency is power once again, guys. So as we have the husks, or if we have the smashers specifically landing right about here, they are staggering. This wall launcher is going to go off, this floor launcher is going to go off, and they're going to have that 2 hits of that big impact punching. 30k, yeah, 30k from this one, and also about 30k from the wall as well. And that's 2 times they're being hit by these things. Not enough to send them flying just yet. But wait, there's more. As they move to the next tile after they recover, this one right here, we have our 5 times floor launcher. This is our 5 times floor launcher hit right here on these 2 tiles, which means that by the time the husk or the smasher is getting hit by these 2, they walk onto this tile, this is gonna be ready, bang, it flies all the way to the sky, falls down, and they die. Right? Both these little areas right here, 2x2 setup. This is the elevated area. So the reasoning why we're doing this as well is basically with the Devil Amplifier, people have always been saying, Allura, this part over here is really hard to build, there's so little space, how can we get more space? And then we think, hey, If we are only thinking one-dimensional, if we only keep all the husks down below, there is indeed very little space. But what about all of these excess areas up top over here, unused areas that is not being utilized? You know, how can we make use of this space? And we have done it as such. If you guys feel like you don't want to catch smashers over here, if you guys feel like you want to catch some of the regular husks, like perhaps huskies and or propanes, if they do survive, you can always change this setup. You can put retractable floor spikes, broadsides as well. You could put wall dynamos, you could put wall darts, whatever you want. Basically, this is a catchment area. Most of the husks that land here are going to be staggering anyway. So by virtue of that, I don't really want to so-called waste our precious 5 times wall launchers, floor launchers on these tiles over here. Right, so that basically does it for this timeout room over here. Let me just go ahead and do point of reference once again. Where exactly is this timeout room? If we count from where we have our wall off from the earliest beginning part over there, our first set of wall offs begin over there. This is the second set of wall offs, and then this is where the timeout elevated timeout room is. Okay, so that's basically it for this part over here. Let's go ahead and highlight the rest of the parts over here to ensure that this room works well. So what have we done over here? We've gone ahead and put tier 3 metal on this part and tier 3 metal on this part, and the reasoning for this also is because we really do not want our smashers or whatever husks, you know, to have any strange ideas to start punching through on this side and start punching through on this side, you know, to try and walk down onto this side or walk onto this side as well. Very bad stuff. We want them to keep looping around in this little area right here. So we're going ahead and wall this part off. 2 tier 3 metal walls wall off. Alright, so that's basically it. So we're covered up until this tile. So a little bit more of the advanced stuff going on over here once again. This floor launcher being a 3 times impact, you probably guessed it right. Yes, this wall launcher over here is not, I repeat, not your regular 3 impact wall launcher. This is the 4 impact wall launcher. Now let's see if I can find it. This one, right? And the reason for this is because this particular wall launcher has a 5.6 seconds reload time, separate from the 4.3 seconds reload time of this floor launcher right here. I want this floor launcher to go off more often than this wall launcher over here. However, I still want it to be staggered so that we can have maximum CC uptime on this very crucial funnel point right here. So as this has gone off, right, as we begin, this one will go off and this one will go off at the very first time, but after the first time, these two will then be going off at separate timings, which ensure that the husks are having some good time, you know, getting booped around all around on this side over here. Same thing on this side as well. This is a 3 impact floor launcher. This one over here is a 4 impact wall launcher. Same staggering what do you call that, explanation. Right. So let me just go ahead and fully finish off this side over here, then we can get to that other funnel over there. So next tile over here, what do we have? This one over here, we also once again have a consistency floor launcher, meaning a 3x impact floor launcher, 4 times impact wall launcher over here. As you notice, this tile over here, because we have this little tilted tile over here, we want this to be going off as often as possible. In the event that these two are on cooldown, this one is ready to go, and it once again sends husks right up there. Right, so this one over here, 3 times impact, so 3 impact over here, 4 impact wall right here as well, tilted tile up here. So if this wall launcher goes off, what happens? We send them over to this side over here. And what do we have on this side over here? Now this side over here, we have 5 impact floor launcher, 5 impact floor launcher, 5 impact floor launcher over here. Why? Because as you can see up above, there is absolutely nothing up above us. And this is what I would like to call a little kill zone, if you will. So this is basically the part where you as the player, as you're observing all of the funnels working, and if you do see an odd smasher coming by, and they try to get into your base, all you gotta do is just stand here with your rocket launcher, fire off, and launch them into this little kill pit right here. Just have them fly back here. If it flies here and gets booped up there, great. If it flies over here and get booped up there, great. You know, you just want to keep them in this little 2x2 spot over there where they can constantly get booped around, alright, and sent into the sky. Okay, and I think that basically does it for this part over here, yeah? 3x here, 5x here, 5x here, 5x here. And once again, for those of you who missed out on how to place these tiles over here as well, you can probably refer to our previous video, but it basically involves this standing in the correct position and equipping your trap and shoving it in appropriately. Okay, not going to go too much into it. If you want to look it up, it's mentioned in our first tutorial video. Right. So now with this out of the way, let me just go ahead and finish up on the sides over here, the wall offs. So this part over here, what do we have? We have a sandwich wall. Okay, we have a sandwich wall over here, and the reasoning for this is because right here we have a little area here that we don't want the timeout room to get broken out of. You don't want the smashes, you don't want any of the husks to get any strange ideas. You want to really make sure that you block it off well. Okay, so we have a little box over here. We have a box over here. Over here we have an additional box side by side with that other box that we created on this side over here. Okay, so tier 3 metal all the way. This one we have added an additional slant up here as well. Gone ahead and sealed this part off, and this is where we have the coinciding of where we had the upper floor right there. This area here is basically also a block off as well. The reason why we've gone ahead and blocked it as such as well is because you don't want like lobbers and stuff like that to think that they can punch through and then they have a ceiling that they can just throw through. So we just seal it all off nicely. Okay. Is there anything else that I want to touch on this side over here? I think that we are going to cover all the tunnels first before we touch on the lobber field. So let's just go ahead and get right to that really quickly. Okay, so this funnel has been covered. I'm going to go ahead and head over to this other side funnel right here. As you see, the lava rock is falling very consistently on that side over there. So this part over here, I really have to thank our genius teams, yeah, for coming out with all these amazing solutions. I think it might have been LEEIF or Rob's together with Morph, I think was the one who suggested testing this, and it has been working extremely well. I am so pleased that with this one tilted tile over here, it makes all the difference in the world. What exactly am I talking about? So as we can understand, once again, we have spawns coming in right here. Right now, with that one tile right here, with that one tile right there, the spawns that come in from this side over here, instead of going straight, they curve off into this stronger funnel on this right side over here, which is absolutely fantastic. Tier 3 tilted floor tile right here, right next to this 2x1 setup, tilted up over here. It is so good. Which means that only this spawn, this little spawn over here, is the one that will actually walk through on this side, and that's it. You reduce the amount of husks pile up on this side over here, which is excellent. Okay, so once again, this is a 2-tile tilted sideways. We've gone ahead and rigged up gas trap over here. Wall lights over here, I generally do not use wall lights. This is pretty much the only place in the entire storm shield that I actually do use wall lights on this side over here. For lack of a better trap, really. I guess you could use like broadsides or whatever, but I've gone ahead and used wall lights instead because husk density a little bit on the lower side, you know, it just sticks them around for like, you know, a decent amount of time. So we've gone ahead and go on wall lights instead. So ceiling gas trap number 1, ceiling gas trap number 2. We've gone ahead and rigged up ceiling gas traps 2 sides right there. Okay, 2 rows of ceiling gas traps. So first the wall light over here, slanted piece over there. We walked the second tile right here. So as we can see, once again, we have ceiling gas trap, and we also have wall lights over here. I've gone ahead and placed a slowing floor spikes over here. This is our first damaging floor spike, first damaging floor trap rather, from this part over here. I just want to make sure that we catch all the husks and slow them all down. Okay, so ceiling gas right there. Next tile over here, we are getting to the important part. So this part over here, I've gone ahead and rigged it up with a tar pit trap. We've gone ahead and used a tar pit right there. And we have also gone ahead and placed a metal wall over here. I decided to go against putting a wall light over here because we have a tar pit over here and it sticks everything anyway, they're getting stuck. So no point to go ahead and do any additional touching up over here as well. Tar pit over here, ceiling gas trap, ceiling gas trap. Okay, so on this side over here, this is where we were talking about this 3 times floor launcher, and we have the 4 times wall launcher over here to send them all the way back through to this point over here and reset them fully. Alright, so once again, this part over here, tar pit, floor launcher 3 times, and then flying upwards over there. Walls to the left up here, 2 walls up here, and then they go all the way up, smoothing their flight, so to speak. Okay. So over here, we also have another tar pit. Okay, so for some odd reason, sometimes especially things like blasters or laser boys, I like to call them, laser boys, and sometimes smashers, the very occasional smasher, may choose to walk through this side over here. I think that was possibly because we used to have a wall light over here and they will get stunned and staggered and they might end up towards this side over here. So we're going to hit and remove that as well. Hopefully we haven't really seen any smashes coming through on this side, which is kind of great. Yeah, I think maybe a couple of laser boys do manage to walk over here. Laser boys do like to walk off the off-beaten track to try and track down players, but not too important. Anyway, we have a tar pit over here. Okay, ceiling gas trap, tar pit over here, blank. Ceiling gas trap, tar pit, blank. Ceiling gas trap, tar pit, nothing over here. Ceiling gas trap, slowing floor spikes. So why slowing floor spikes over here, Allura? I figured that as long as we have a slowing floor spikes over here, whatever that does make it through over here is gonna get their slowing effect, and then they're gonna walk towards this floor launcher over here, or they're gonna walk up this stair over here, and it's going to be snared, so it's going to be a lot easier for players to go ahead and shoot them down with the snare effect on them and fire them into the kill pit right there, as you can see. Yeah, smasher coming through or laser boy coming through, easy peasy, one good rocket, bam, they fly into the kill pit and then it'll just let it do its work. Okay, so once again, gas trap over here. All of this mostly just tier 3 metal. You might notice a little bit of inconsistency over here, some of these being stone. But honestly speaking, you know, they don't really punch through this middle area sections over here. The ones that tend to be a little bit more important are these sides over here, where they are more likely to punch through, and therefore we have shoved in tier 3 metal to discourage them from doing those kinds of shenanigans. So yeah. This is basically it for this very, very, very annoying as well as hard to build stair area on the Devil Amp side. Okay, so let me just go ahead and finish up over here. So we have the tier 3 metal. We've gone ahead and done a couple of little pyramid pieces over here to discourage them from punching through. 3 pyramid pieces, and we have also put 2 metal wall, tier 3 walls over here to discourage them from coming through on this side as well. Okay, so once again, I think we've basically done it for this side. No, we have one more part over here to touch on. So remember, we were talking about this being a 2 rows of 5, yeah? 2 rows of 5? 5 rows of 2, sorry. 5 rows of 2 block off over here. Some other essential points of note. We have an additional block off wall over here, floor rather. We also have a block off wall over here as well towards the last 2 parts. And over here we have another floor piece over here as well. This is to discourage them from trying to punch through here because they would have to get through this tile as well. And yeah, that basically covers it for this side over here, I do believe. Yeah, I think it does cover it this side over here. So last but not least, we do need to cover the block offs on the side as well as the lobber shield. So let's just go ahead and touch up on that really quickly. So we're going to be on this hill right here, as you can see. We have this hill over here. Gone ahead and place a little block off over here. Up this little ramp, we've gone ahead and blocked it off. Alright. And about halfway, if you notice this hill over here, point of reference we like to use, yeah, point of reference. These 2 tiles over here is where you want to begin your block off for your lava rock. So tier 3 metal, and across, 3 tiles across. And after that, you're going to hit and put these additional pieces over here. This is going to be a 2x3. It's basically where the lava rock does like to land. It actually does land one more tile over here. This one is to basically you know, fail-safe mechanisms, like I like to say. If the lava rock shifts for some strange reason, if your tunnel does blow up, yeah, if your tunnel does blow up, this is a damage pulse over here and it blows up this entire area here, your lava rock might shift. And if it does shift, you want to be prepared. You want to make sure that even if it shifts and this part over here gets blown up, your lobber shield is still going to remain safe. And that's why we've gone ahead and placed it in this particular manner. Alright, so yeah, 2x3 block off over here. This keeps you safe from the meteor rock as well as serves as a lobber shield. Onto this tile over here, we've gone ahead and placed these upturned stone pieces right here, 1, 2, and 3, and then that is sufficient. 1, 2, and 3, and then sufficient. No need for an additional tile over here as well, not needed. Right. So gone ahead and place one more wall over here, and this part over here also very important. I think I was covering this in the previous video as well. This is going to cover not just that side but also more importantly this side as well. So tier 3 metal, little pyramid piece over here. We have a a floor piece over here. I don't think you are able to place here. Yeah, this is where there's a weird very weird spot that doesn't allow you to place over here, but doesn't matter, just go ahead and seal it off as such. Right, so over here once again we do have a block off. This is tier 3 metal, right? And this part over here, very important, because this particular cliff over here has a very weird way of being, and this path over here is actually walkable by us, particularly lobbers and flingers. So if you don't wall this area off, you are going to be having some very bad issues. So I would strongly recommend, in fact I would highly advise it for you guys to place 1, 2, 3 metal walls over here, and then not just that, but place 1 metal wall, 2 metal walls, and 3 metal walls over here to complete this wall off on this very annoying side right here. So let me just go ahead and do a little top-down view right here. This is exactly how it looks like. Okay, the dart traps over here are basically just for additional damage for the husk that passed through on that side over there. If you don't want it, you can always do away with them, but I've gone ahead and added those. So 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2 along the cliff side, this little ramp side, and then 1 wall over here to completely block them off to prevent them from coming through on these sides over here and flinging into your base. Okay, so on this side over here you don't really need anything at all, just this side right there. And yeah, I think that covers it. I actually think that covers it. Yeah, this is basically Devil North. I actually cannot believe how quickly we have went through this video, considering how many hours we put into designing and redesigning this particular amplifier. But yeah, let me not go ahead and bore you guys too much. So a very quick point of note as well, as of the posting of this video, if you guys are curious when this video gets posted, around this time we will actually be live and streaming on Twitch TV/AlluraSC. I will be attempting a no flaw launcher challenge, no flaw launcher as well as no zenith sniper challenge. Right, so I'll be doing the first challenge as a team, and then afterwards I'm going to be doing it solo. So all of these floor launchers, none of them will exist. We're going to replace all of these traps with different traps and no floor launchers at all. So if you guys are curious and if you guys want to tune into that, feel free to do so, Twitch TV/AlluraSC. So once again guys, I thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next video. Alright, Allura out. Take care guys. Bye bye now.